Hello, Teal Nation. Welcome back to another episode of the Chant Pod, presented by Revolution Mortgage. I'm Sam Wiederhaft. You've probably heard the phrase, paint the nation teal. Well, this past weekend, one athlete painted the world teal. That's right, Melissa Jefferson-Wooden won the world championship in the 100 meters in Tokyo. She still has a few more events coming up this weekend in the world championships, so I thought, why not talk to her college coach? Sandy Fowler is the director of track and field and cross country and provided some awesome insight into Melissa's development and how she means so much to this university. We also got into this year's team and who some of those up-and-coming athletes are. So let's hear from her. Here's my conversation with Sandy Fowler. Well, we continue our head coach office tour here on the Chant Pod, presented by Revolution Mortgage. Today, we're in the office of our director of track and field and cross country, Sandy Fowler. Coach, appreciate the time. Thanks for coming on.
I appreciate your time. This is going to be fun.
The season has just started. Cross country goes in the fall. So just tell me how the beginning of the season's been so far.
Well, we've had one major competition, and I think it proved that our men's team is going to be pretty strong this year. Adam Groves, of course, won it and then got Sunbelt Athlete of the Week, which is pretty impressive. Mm-hmm. He's still young and up and coming. The rest of the team is really a battery of sophomores and freshmen. So we'll kind of see how they compete and what they do as the season progresses.
You know, cross country and track and field are so vast, and there's so many different events. Mm-hmm. How do you manage to stay involved just with every single aspect of this program?
You know, it's interesting because sometimes you feel like you're getting spread thin. You do, but it's all about the kids. And I really enjoy traveling with cross country. My actual coaching career actually started with cross country at Syracuse. I was the assistant cross country coach there. So at that time, I really developed a love for it, and I absolutely love the sport. And it's touching base with the different groups because we sometimes don't train at the same time. It's making sure that I'm out on the track so I get to know the kids. Mm-hmm. And as I get to know them, that their rapport develops. Yeah. You mentioned Adam Groves, and he won the Elon opener in the first event this year. You texted me after that race that he ran a smart race. Mm-hmm. Describe what you mean by running a smart race. Well, there were points during the race when he could have just taken over the lead and ran, and whether or not other people could have overtaken him at that point in time, mm-hmm. possibly could have happened. He actually decided to sit back until it was his time to actually take the lead and then hold the lead all the way through the finish.
Yeah. I mean, I would be exhausted running that race. I wouldn't even have time to think, to be honest. So that's really, really impressive. But the men's team did well. The women's team did well. Just what impressed you after that first event for cross country?
I would say, you know, we had a newcomer actually on the women's side, Olivia Fishline, who actually won for us on the women's race. I think she was 4th overall. But with her was Addie Laughlin, who's been on the team now for 3 years, and I think she's starting to figure out her stride and things too, and where does she sit as a point person for cross country. So what I liked on the women's side is that they were all kind of clumped together, close. And again, we're young with a lot of newcomers, mm-hmm. So we get to see what they're going to do as well. I think we'll have a really good feeling after our home competition this weekend.
So many of these athletes do both. They do cross country and track. So just tell me how the mentality changes from running a cross country race where you're typically running on, you know, these courses with twists and turns to running a distance race on a track.
I would say the first thing is the type of training that they do. Yeah. Because right now everybody's training for long distances, you know, because we go up to a 10K on the men's side and up to a 6K on the women's side for our championship races. So that all changes depending on what their event might be. If they're 800 meters, it's going to be cut real short. Then 1500 is probably going to be 815 together. And then you've got those ones that now we're throwing some hurdles in the way for steeplechase. So it's what's more specific for their actual event area. Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of track, some big things happened on the track this past weekend with our former track standout, Melissa Jefferson-Wooden, winning the 100-meter world championship in Tokyo. Just how proud were you watching that race and her claiming the world championship?
I honestly couldn't even tell you. I was jumping up and down, screaming around my house. It was one of those ideals where I would have loved to have been there for her, mm-hmm. you know. But yeah, it well deserved. Melissa, who would have thought, a young lady from Georgetown, Carvers Bay High School, Coastal Carolina University, and here she is on the world stage winning everything. So I'm so proud. It's kind of ridiculous.
I mean, when she was here, she was a national champion in the 60-meter indoor. She was an All-American. Just when did you kind of realize that what she's doing right now could be possible?
It's interesting when Melissa was being recruited here, she was recruited by, at that time, my sprint coach was Dion Rose Henley. And Dion came in my office because, we talk about scholarships and those kinds of things. And Melissa came here on a partial. But that being stated, Dion kept saying there's something special. I can't really put my finger on it, but there's something special in Melissa. And for Melissa at that time, it was a situation where could we be too close of a school? Could we be? So we had to kind of jump through some challenges from that standpoint. But then as she started to develop as a freshman, sophomore, and junior, you could see. I think her confidence, her buying into the program, and she went through a couple of coaches in there because Coach Kyle came in after, Kyle Goodman, who was the person that brought her through nationals when she won. But buying into that program and really being relentless in everything that she did, from her diet to her training to her sleep habits to being hydrated, you name it. She just told the line and was phenomenal. I think those things kind of got her heading in the right direction. And then once she realized, she started winning conference, going to nationals, finally winning the indoor national championship, and then the outdoor USA finals. She started to realize, oh, this is bigger and better than what I thought.
Yeah.
And that confidence that came with it, I think, pushed her along.
Was there a moment or a race or something that you saw kind of early in her career where you really started to see that development, take place?
I would say the conference championships indoors as a sophomore.
Okay.
And then to follow that up with outdoors, and from that time, she won them all. But I think we really started to see it then. That's when we started to have some of those conversations in regards to where could Melissa go.
Yeah. Well, she has gone so many different places, is obviously killing it right now in Tokyo. But you mentioned the diet and the training and what she had to do. Just tell me about her work ethic when she was here at such a young age and how much work she put into what she's doing.
She's very dedicated. She was the one that was always up in coach's office trying to do more. And yet trying to understand what she was doing because she didn't want to overdo. I feel like she got a lot of maybe education in regards to training and diet and those things while she was here. And as a result, she really listened to her body and knew what her body needed. And that conversation going back and forth with her and coach is what got it done. Yeah.
How much do you still keep in contact with her? Because I know that she's back quite a bit. Georgetown kid, obviously.
Yeah,
so.
We've been in touch a little bit. She's training now down in Florida.
Okay.
She's coming up the weekend of October 3rd, 4th for a clinic over at Doug Shaw.
Okay.
That she started her senior year.
Yeah.
So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah. I was telling you beforehand, it's a funny story behind it, but I served Melissa Jefferson at a walk-ons in Surfside one time. Funny story. But I mean, yeah, she's a big figure in this area and has been ever since she was at Coastal. I mean, you were an Olympian in 1980 as an alternate in the shot put. You've been on the coaching staff for Olympic teams before. Did you ever kind of give some of that advice as far as what being an Olympian is like? We had a lot of conversations on national teams. And what are the strides and steps that you take to get there. And obviously some of those strides and steps start while you're in college. You have to get used to the pressure that comes with that, and really have a capacity for winning. And to do that comes with your determination, dedication, and what are your goals that you have set, and how do you and your coach see yourself getting there? And she's very formative on that, and I would say locked in. And as a result of that, just her concentration on it is what did it for her. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we talk about, her winning the world championship in Tokyo this past weekend. She has the 200 coming up on Friday, the 4x100 event in that championship as well. She was an Olympian last year. I totally forgot to mention that, but was a part of the Olympic team, a bronze medalist and a gold medalist as well. Just how much does Melissa mean to your program and Teal Nation as a whole?
She means everything. I haven't had an athlete come into the program that doesn't know who Melissa Jefferson is, and they don't have to be from the state of South Carolina. They realize what you can be here and what you can develop as here. Because sometimes you look at a small program and maybe I can't reach my goals. Realize that you can. And Melissa is one of a few, but she's the huge one. She's just she is up there on a pedestal that others can now reach.
Yeah.
And they realize if they come to Coastal Carolina that they can do those things.
Mm-hmm. So who's the next Melissa Jefferson? Who do we got in this track program that you're kind of watching that really has some talent?
Well, we have, let me think on the women's side, we have Tiana Acker, she's up and coming. Jamie Adams, she's up and coming.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have a new person coming in the jumps, Takora Gaskin. Mm-hmm. She's born and raised South Carolina. Here we go.
Yeah.
And I think she's got a lot of talent in the jumps. So I think it's to be figured out, because we're so young right now. But I do think it's there.
Yeah. Well, obviously, Melissa developed a lot, so there's a lot of training that has to be done. You don't know who's going to emerge after all that. Talking with Director of Track and Field and Cross Country, Sandy Fowler, here at Coastal Carolina on the Chant Pod, presented by Revolution Mortgage. We've got the Chanticleer Challenge on Friday for cross country, hosting our own event, which we do every year at the Hackler Golf Course. How excited are the athletes to be able to run here at home? Very, and kind of a unique thing. We bring our track and field team out to not only support, but to assist with the event. Nice. So that kind of melds our team back together again. And our athletes, they're always excited about our home meets. We only have the one meet. Mm-hmm. They're excited. They're ready to run. I hear them talking in the background how Coastal's going to be the ones to take both men and women, which ideally that's what we would like. Yeah, confident. They are. They're confident. They're ready. And I can see some fast times. We haven't had rain in a while, and it looks like we're going to be good to go on Friday. All right. Which means that the course is dry. The grass has been cut. It should be fast. There was a while there where it was raining every day, and it was tough. But we've had some great weather here, and I think it's going to be great on Friday, which is awesome. Cross country season in the fall, indoor season in the winter, outdoor season in the spring. How does your mind kind of separate each season? Like, when do you click into, all right, now I'm in cross country mode, now I'm in indoor mode, now I'm in outdoor track mode? So the fall for me is kind of a little bit of a mixture mode, because you have cross country that's in season. Coach Mike Bianci is the one that takes care of them in regards to training and things. I'm with them on the road, going to meets and those kinds of things. And then kind of clicked into track and field program because they're training as well. Mm-hmm. And I'm out there with those kids, out on the track right now. And then usually it'll be right around Christmas time. Cross is taking a little bit of a break. Mm-hmm. They have a few weeks off in there. And then we start kicking the track and field. Mm-hmm. And then pretty much it's track and field from there till June. So I mentioned it earlier, you were an alternate in the 1980 Olympics in the shot put. How closely do you work with those throwers? They're my group. It's your bread and butter? Yeah, they are. They're my group. So I work real closely with them. And, we've got a couple of talented ones. Just an interesting story. Last year I was talking to my shot putter, Joe Rome, and he said, I had some baseball background in high school. Mm-hmm. And when he said that, I said, well, would you like to try javelin? And this was in late October. Yeah. So we started doing some drill work and some throws and some things like that all the way through till March, and he placed fourth at the conference meet. Pretty impressive. Yeah. And just was able to pick it up just like that. Yeah. What do you enjoy so much about those throwing events? Part of it's probably because I was one. Yeah. And in being a shot putter. I really like the way you have to manipulate the training, mm-hmm. because it has to be it's very individualized for a field event athlete. And that hits like they may do some general prep training together, but at that point in time, it's all about their event. Yeah. And what is specific in the javelin versus the shot put, the hammer, and the discus. And then getting them to buy into that, because they're gonna have to buy into that, because mm-hmm. maybe in high school everything was just a general something together. Once they realize and they see the benefits of that, they buy right in. Yeah. You mentioned some of those big names on the women's side for track. I know that Tariq Webb coming back on the men's side, really, really strong events last year. Just how much are you looking forward to the track and field season coming up in the indoor and the outdoor in winter and spring? I'm looking forward to it. I feel like the athletes did, from what we can tell so far, they did a great job training this summer. Mm-hmm. Because that's always the piece when they step away from the coaching staff and things like that. But we're already seeing some benefits as we speak. Yeah. And I think that's going to make the difference for both indoor and outdoor.
And I can see Tariq doing great this year.
Yeah.
He had a good year last year, but even his mindset has changed. So I can tell that he's ready.
Yeah. And Coach, I'll close it out with this one, but just cross country in general, how confident are you for this group to have a successful 2025 after a really good start in the Elon opener and then obviously hosting the event on Friday?
I'm looking forward to a great season. As long as they continue to progress in times and as a team staying together for points, because that's one of their goals. I can see them doing really well in the Sun Belt this year.
Coach Fowler, we appreciate the time. You do a little bit of everything here with the track and field and cross country program. We want to say good luck to Melissa coming up on Friday for the 200 meter and the 4x100 as well. And congratulations on all the accomplishments. But Coach, I appreciate the time. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you. This was great.
You can tell how proud she is of Melissa and how much pride she has every time she gets to watch her. As we mentioned, cross country has their lone home meet on Friday at the Chanticleer Challenge over at the Hackler Golf Course. So good luck to the Chants over there. And Melissa is back in action with the 200-meter World Championship final happening on Friday. And the 4x100-meter relay final is on Sunday. So good luck to Melissa on her quest to becoming the fastest woman in the world. Let's take a trip around athletics this weekend. We've got Coastal football in action on Saturday night against South Alabama in Mobile at 7 p.m. on ESPN+. Men's soccer has a match this weekend. It'll be a trip to 10th-ranked Marshall on Friday night at 7. And women's soccer, they're on a little bit of a run here. Unbeaten their last 3 matches. They just tied their Sun Belt opener at JMU, and they've got South Alabama on Thursday night at 7 from Mobile, then back home to Conway against Old Dominion on Sunday at 5. The volleyball team, they're on a hot streak, coming off a sweep of the Wolfpack Invitational last weekend. They've won 6 matches in a row. And this weekend, it's a trip to Miami for the 305 Invitational. They'll take on Miami on Thursday at 6:30 and FIU on Friday at 6. And women's tennis begins their fall schedule this weekend at the Charleston Southern Invitational on Friday and Saturday. That'll close us out on another episode. Thanks to Coach Fowler for giving us the insight on Melissa's journey to becoming the fastest woman in the world. Back next week with another episode, but for now, I'm Sam Wiederhaft signing off. Chants up.